Hi, my name's Darren from UK Pro Talent Training. Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a bunch of levels, and not any kind of levels. I've got the best levels on the market, which is the Stabila range of levels. So I get asked loads of times with different students coming on the course, which levels do I need? What size do I need? And because it's all different sizes, you need to know which set you need in your kit. So I'm going to get straight into it and go through the sizes you need. And then I'm going to go the reason why Stabila is probably going to be a better choice out of all the different brands on the market. So the first one we need is just a little level. This is magnetic, so it can stick anywhere you like, but it is about 70mm level. And not everything is going to be really wide when you come to Thailand. You're going to have little nooks and crannies that you've got to get in, and it's really hard to get a level on something that is too big to get into, obviously a small gap. So you'll find that this is really useful just to plop in that little space there and find your level, tweak your tiles and get the accuracy that you need. So that was the first one, 70mm. The next one I suggest you buy is the 300mm level. So obviously bigger, and again, all tiling comes in all different size gaps and stuff like that. So again, if the gap was that big and you only had a level that big, it wouldn't fit. So obviously this is your next one, your 300mm one is going to find these little nooks and crannies and get your other problems there. The next one I suggest you buy is the 600mm level. So just like I said with that one, if the gap is too small, too big, you can use the appropriate one, which is going to be this one. And the next one is going to be 1200 level. So this is the main level you're going to use probably in bathrooms, because most of your bathroom walls are going to be quite long, 2 meters, 2.4, something like that. So you're going to probably use that one the most to check your tiles. Now, what we really need as well in your kit is a 2-meter level. Now we can either go with a 2-meter level or a 2mm aluminium box section, which I've got here. And the reason why I need a 2-meter one, it's really important in Thailand, is because we have to check sometimes how flat a surface is. So if I've got a floor and I'm going to tile a floor, the British standards say that over a 2-meter distance, there hasn't got to be any more deviation other than plus or minus 3mm. So what that means is, if you look at this table here, if I put this level or this straight edge on this table, I can tell not whether the table is level, but I can tell whether it's flat. So when it comes to tiling, sometimes flatness is better than level. That's because if I press down on here, now on this table, you should see a gap appear in here. So the bubble might still be level in the middle. That's because it's reading the distance from that point there to that point there, which is the two highest points. But you can see the table is dipping down. So therefore that is more than 3mm, which is the British standards regulations. So if I walk into a customer's job with a 2-meter straight edge or level, I could put it on the floor and that will identify where the low points are, which means I can mark them and I can use some screen or some self-leveling compounds to rectify that and get myself a flat floor again. So I think these come in packs, the 300, the 600 and the 1.2. So you can get yourself a pack, comes in a nice bag. It comes in a nice bag anyway, I can keep it more secure and saves you getting knocked around in your vans. These two little ones can be bought separately, and you can get by anything in the range, but that definitely is the set of levels that I suggest you buy. So why the Stabila brand? Well, the Stabila brand has been going for 135 years, so it's got to be one of the longest level companies in the world. And anything that lasts that long has got to be good quality. So it's like every tool you buy, you can pay anything from really cheap to really expensive. So in general tool sense, the more you pay, the better you get. So I've dealt with levels all my life, and I've had loads of cheap levels along the way. And you drop them, you hit, this is called a vial, you knock the vial and it knocks it out of the sink. You put it on your job, you think it's right, you check it again later on, everything's running off, and that's because the vial's been knocked out. So what I've done here is I've cut away a bit of a cheaper level, and from this you can see that this is just clipped in, and this is how most levels are made. And they just clip that in with a bit of plastic, and again you knock it, it just goes out of sync straight away. However, the Stabila sort of range, this is a patented technology, and this is all resin filled. So the resin actually like sort of sets and it's calibrated, and it's, I'm pretty sure it's like sort of hand calibrated to a zero tolerance, but you have like a sort of a tolerance of plus or minus 0.5 of a mil, just for a score. But generally, like when you get them, they're going to be like sort of like calculated to zero. And because this is all resin filled, you drop that and it knocks that vial, it's not going to knock it out at all. Where this plastic can snap, it can crack, it can go out of shape. That one there, I mean, I'm not saying you throw it in the back of your van, but if you knock it, it's still going to be pretty much a really useful tool. Which is why the Stabila range comes with like 10-year guarantee. And against something like this, which not. So, and the biggest mistake in any kind of construction is mismeasuring, or either you take the wrong distance, or you've like calibrated something that is like sort of out of sync. And the problem is with tiling, if you don't continuously check your levels, is the worst thing you can do is start off on one edge of the wall, tile all the way across here, tile back here, and then tile back here, and then come back to the starting point. So if your levels are that inaccurate, and you assume that it's level, but it's not, you're actually going to run off. So your tiles are going to come around, and you're going to come back. So maybe it's like a ½ inch or an inch, like sort of run off as you come back. And how much is that going to cost you? So again, I could like sort of go and buy some cheap levels for like sort of a set for 30 quid, 40 pounds, $50, whatever the value is. But the thing is, it might have cost us £100 for the Stabila set. I might have saved £50, but if that job's cost us like £1,000 because it's gone wrong, because my levels have literally like sort of let us down. I've never really saved anything by buying the cheap tools in the first place. So always buy your quality tools, and again, you know, I have a range of tiling tools, but the level is one of the most like sort of important things that we need, because again, no matter how good you tile this, them joints don't come back to like sort of meet, you've got a major problem. So hopefully that's like sort of give you an understanding of like sort of why I suggest you use the Stabila brand when you tile. Tape measures. Again, when it comes to tape measures, most of like sort of the tape measures come in a metric and imperial. So therefore that you have like sort of meters and you have feet and inches. So in Thailand we'll never really use like a feet and inch system. It's always, in the UK especially, it's always meters or millimeters. So it'll always be like 2.2 or 1.6 meters, something like that. So all these top numbers on the top of here is pretty irrelevant. And sometimes I'm trying to read something and the bar is on the top here, but the millimeter reader is on the bottom. I can't really see where it is. So what Stabila's coming in is a pure metric tape measure. So let me, this tape measure here, it only has metric numbers in meters. So it's got your 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, there's no feet, there's no inches. It is just simply like you take a reading and literally whatever that metric number is, that's what you read off. So again, there's different qualities in this. I'm not 100% sure. This particular one is obviously better quality. It's thicker, and if the thicker the tape measure, it means the more it can project it out without it snapping, without somebody having to hold it. So it's pretty obvious how tape measures work. Everybody's used them and seen them before. So again, the fatter ones I suggest are better, but definitely try and get the bigger version of this one with the metric like sort of readings on it only. We'll have digital sort of measures as well. So again, these are really handy. If I come in to do like a sort of a customer's measurement of the bathroom, and I had a tape measure, what I'd be doing here is I'd be trying to stretch that out into that wall. And then I'd take the distance of that, say at 2.3, and then I'd be measuring the height, say at 2.4, and I'd be multiplying that together to give us an answer, and then I'd do the same on that wall, and that wall. But now I have like sort of digital readers, which is literally like sort of, just everything's just laser fed. So if I just like sort of shine that dot, and should come out and pick this up, but there's a red dot on that wall there. So that's measuring the distance from the back of that laser there, hard against the wall, up to that dot. So I press that again, that will give us an instant reading, and that is like sort of 2.621 meters. So now we'll just do it from floor to ceiling. And then once I've got that, it calculates the area and job done. I'm pretty much sure Stabila has an app as well, where this can be Bluetoothed to the app, and then it can save all your readings under a customer's name and number, but not 100% sure on that, but it's something you can find out a little bit more about that kind of technology as well. And I'm sure you can use this to help you out and speed the job up. So that is laser distance measuring. Now, the last thing I'm just going to quickly talk about is laser levels. So I've been tying for a long time, and I sort of started off with these kind of levels, but obviously technology comes on, and sometimes you have to embrace technology. So again, you might have seen these before, but this is called the LEX 50G. And we do a more expensive model, which is the LEX 600G. So, but this is good enough for us tilers. And all we need is a vertical line and a plumb and a horizontal line. So this particular one is accurate to about 0.5 of a millimeter per meter over 20 meters. Now I have two different kinds of colours in lasers. Everything used to be red at one point, but now companies have come out with green. Stabila comes out with this high, definite in your face green, which is super the same in all conditions. So in this environment here, I've got LED lights, which is really bright, but I can still see that green line absolutely no problem whatsoever. And sometimes the red ones are a little bit harder to see, so I definitely suggest you buy the green one. So again, it's pretty straightforward. If I was tiling an area of this bathroom here, and I got to a series of tiles at this height, I can simply mount it on a camera tripod, and I can raise this up or lower it down to whatever. So I'm maybe take this laser to the height of that tile there. I'll set it up in the bathroom, and then I can see this is pretty much going. Camera can't pick this up, but that laser from that point there is shining to there, to that wall, all the way across to here, and it's catching this. So from that point there, I've nearly got a 320-degree span from that point there all the way around this bathroom. So I could check as I was putting tiles on around this wall that I'm not veering off that tile line, so I'm guaranteed to come back with that laser once it's set up. If that tripod is going to get in your way, there's another system Stabila do, which is it's a telegraphic pole. And what you do is you simply extract it up to the ceiling like that, twist it, and then locks it in, and this will mount at any point on that pole there, so you can put it in the corner and get out of the way of being in the middle. So again, something you can check out. Definitely go on to your local suppliers of tools and check out the packs of Stabila levels. Have a look at the lasers. I'm sure there's plenty YouTube videos from Stabila that have done demonstrations on all these products I've mentioned. But definitely get yourself a set of levels at the size I've mentioned. This is a really handy tool. It's not essential that you get one of these if you just start out in tiling, but definitely on your journeys you start getting better and better. One of these lasers is definitely going to be beneficial in your toolkit. So hope there's been some benefit for you. Like I say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done it. Click the like button. And if anybody's got any comments, just leave them below and I'll get back to you with them. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.